butter when you're chicken in the hot, 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 hot.
This is John Rhodes. I'm down here from Heritage Cablevision down the riverfront with Jocko and
Screaming Scott's over there.
Scott's over here.
Scott?
Screaming
Scott, hold it. See, man, I make it easy. I put my name on my jacket, all right?
So that's what, so he can remember it.
But he has a long name with Screaming.
I'm Screaming.
Just call him Screaming.
Screaming. This is Screaming. This is Jocko.
That, you got that right. This is John. You know what's nice? John came with a real simple, easy name, and it makes it a lot easier for us to remember his name.
That's right.
I know how it is, John.
One syllable.
Yeah, there you go. Well, Jocko, that's two. So
well, yeah. It's a short one.
Yeah. So, what do you think about Great River Days and being in Iowa?
I think it's great, and I think it's great to be standing here next to the mighty Mississippi. Rolling down here, you know, we played all sorts of places. We played on the other end of the Mississippi down in New Orleans, and now we're coming up this side of Mississippi, and it's a treat.
We're taking the rock and roll music up the river.
Rock and roll music up the river. What makes rock and roll so popular with you guys?
It's popular with us? Well, we like it.
It doesn't have a lot of chords, and it's easy for us to play.
That is correct.
But, you know, rock and roll is so strong still in the 80s, and it's great American music, and it's intrinsic to the American sound. And it's so great that rhythm and blues and rock and roll is still as strong as it has ever been here in 30 years later, from 1954, when rock and roll started, of course.
There you go. Now, you was part of Woodstock, wasn't you?
I was there at Woodstock. Can you imagine that? 18 years ago. I've been here, well, it's funny that I'm here next to the old Mississippi River, because me and that river go back a long ways. No, actually, Woodstock was upstate New York, and it was a wonderful festival. It's a one-in-a-lifetime experience. I was there at Woodstock. I was there at the movie, and we sang at the Hop, and we're still going to do it tonight. We'll be singing at the Hop.
Great, great. Glad to hear it. Now, was you with Woodstock back then?
No, I joined later.
Okay, now when did you join the...
about a year later. I was playing at the Cafe Bazaar.
Okay.
At the time.
He was in the East Village. He wasn't at Woodstock. He was in the Village, which was just as crazy.
Yeah, we were jamming.
Time to party, right?
Yeah.
Right. That's good. Let's see, how many records have you guys cut?
We've cut thousands of sides in our day. Single recordings. For the TV shows alone, we actually would pre-record what amounted to a record. Yeah, he's got, well, it's the wind. I keep mine under my hat.
Wind.
You ought to do something about yours,
It's
John.
that wind coming off the mighty Mississippi. Well, we had, let's see, we've had 3 gold albums, Golden Age of Rock and Roll, recorded live, but our biggest thing was like this double platinum thing, the Grease soundtrack. We were in the film Grease, and we were on the soundtrack, and Scott wrote one of the songs that Travolta sang.
Oh, which one was that,
I don't
Scott?
look at Sandy.
Oh, okay.
Standing at the drive-in song. Scott wrote that, and but that was a big record.
We sang,
we sang 6 songs on that. Yeah, all the songs that we played Johnny Casino and the Gamblers. Do you remember that? But it was funny, you know, we did that, originally we were told by the writers, and I said in an interview, that we inspired them to write the play Grease. They came and saw Sha Na Na at a club, and they wrote the play Grease, and they asked us to do it, but we were busy. Our career was just starting. But I think it was 12 years later or something, we did the movie.
Yeah.
So everything goes around, comes around, just like this old mighty Mississippi River.
Mighty Mississippi.
We want to feature that as much.
About halfway up.
Yeah.
We're about halfway up.
This is the bend.
He's from Kansas
I'm
City.
from Kansas City, the Missouri River. That's
Missouri. They all come together, you know.
Kansas City, I know where that place is.
That's a great spot.
I know where that place is.
I want to say hi to everybody who's ever heard of Kansas City.
That's great. Let's see what else we got here wrote down. Okay, let's see. It says, what do you think of that?
Said you're writing, John?
The program director wrote this out.
Oh, yeah.
The PD?
Yeah. Blame someone else, John.
What was the first type music you guys sang together, like at Woodstock?
Well, one thing that's been good for this act, and for the different personalities in it, we sort of, and within rock and roll, you know, what people call rock and roll, there are a lot of different shades of it. You know what I mean? There's strictly the doo-wop stuff, which is real voice stuff, and it's almost a cappella in the a cappella. And then there's a rhythm and blues sound, but then on the other side there's a rockabilly sound, and there's some ballads. So we seem to cover a little bit of all the shades of rock and roll.
That's good. Okay.
And speaking of that, the mighty Mississippi keeps on flowing.
Keeps on flowing. Just the way rock and roll does, right?
You bet, man.
You bet. Okay, when did Sha Na Na get started?
Well, around Woodstock, just before Woodstock. So this is about our 18th anniversary. We're getting our driver's license and in some states our drinking license, all at the same time.
Okay, just as long as they don't get revoked, you're all right.
I know, I know.
Okay.
We're watching. We have designated
As long as you don't
drivers
mix
in
the
the
two,
group.
you know what I mean?
Okay. Now, how many days out of the year do you actually travel?
Maybe
It really
100,
varies.
yeah.
But this year we're having a very busy year because of the resurgence of rock and roll.
Okay.
And so we're out almost, I don't know, 2/3, I don't know more than that, 200 dates maybe this year.
200 dates.
We're bringing rock and roll to America. You know, the good thing is they all like this music, and I see people coming in now. We get families, and you'll get 3 generations of people coming to a show. I mean,
Right.
the ones who, you know, the parents who cruised to this music and knew it in the 50s. It was their songs. And their kids are now getting hip to it, and even their early teens, teenagers, because they're listening on these oldies stations, and all the TV ads now are using the oldies. And the other thing, we even have the grandparents here, because when they were watching our TV show,
Right.
we'd have Henny Youngman on and Milton Berle. I mean, we really have a good demographic. That's TV talk, John, you know.
Marketing.
Yeah, marketing TV. We have a good demographic, and it's good because we really span 3 generations of rock and roll. So, hey, and maybe their kids will still be coming to hear the classics of American rock and roll.
Now, how many years did you do the TV show? Sha Na Na.
4 years, 96 shows.
96 shows.
Yeah.
That's a long time. Long time. Everybody wants me to ask, what happened to Bowser?
You know, Bowser's still out there. He's still rocking and rolling. He's doing his own thing. He's rolling along just like that old mighty Mississippi. No, he left our act to host a game show and try a hosting career in television.
Right.
And he's doing all right now. He's even hosting a rock and roll show. He's doing his own thing. We see him every once in a while in
do
L.A.
ya?
Sure.
That's great. Maybe he'll pop by tonight.
Well, I don't know.
Well, when does this air?
Let me look down the mighty Mississippi. I don't see him
about 50
coming.
minutes we start.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe.
Maybe.
When it re-airs.
Or maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe next
But
week.
we got a new bass
next
singer,
6
and we
months.
got a very talented woman in the act for the first time.
Yes.
And that's
I believe her name's Dora.
Yeah, and it's
Okay.
good. It's good because we can do a lot of things we didn't do when we were all just guys. Because
Right.
we wanted to dance with Lenny all the time, you know. Now we have a hop sequence, which is a lot of fun, and we do little operettas, if you would. You know, we can do more theatrical things with a gal in the act, and it works out great. And of course, she sings great and sings the classics, that the woman songs of the era that we didn't do correctly with a male voice.
Now, what songs does she sing right off top? Few they would know.
The Do Run Run, of course, big.
Where the Boys Are, Connie Francis.
Yeah.
It depends what show we're doing, but she's done It's My Party by Leslie Gore. Lipstick on Your Collar.
That's great.
I'm Sorry,
Lee.
Brenda Lee.
That's, you know.
That's great. So you guys are planning on doing some rocking and rolling tonight, then?
Just a little.
We came to rock and roll.
Along the mighty.
You know, along the mighty Mississippi.
John's got the idea now.
See, John, it all came together for us this weekend. I mean, not only was it the anniversary of the King's death, but it was also the harmonic convergence.
Harmonica convergence, wasn't it?
Right.
And we all became Elvis for one day.
Elvis for one day. Right?
It's just Jocko's day today.
King. John, you're such a beautiful guy. When this interview is over, I'm going to give you a Cadillac.
Now, everybody heard that, and I've got it on tape.
There's a
This
Cadillac.
guy's going to give me a Cadillac.
Well, there's a stipulation there. It's in the parking lot, and I don't have the keys. And it doesn't.
Know the title?
And it doesn't belong to me exactly.
Oh, okay.
But it's yours.
But it's yours.
Okay, I see they're starting to get set up there. Old Mighty Joe's out of his
Mind.
He's ready to go.
Lenny.
Lenny's.
What time is this going on the air?
Lenny's chowing down a little bit.
7:30?
Lenny's going to beef
It's
up.
going on at 8
What time?
o'clock?
8 o'clock.
Well, we're going on at 8 o'clock too. So while you're watching this, you could be out at the Great River Festival seeing our show. So come on out live. Forget this interview. You know, come out now. It's almost too
Isn't
late.
this taped?
Right. Yeah, we're going to tape
He's
it.
gonna air it
We're going to see if we can
right
run back
tonight.
and air it tonight.
He's going to air it at 8
That's
o'clock.
awesome. Okay, so we'll
Come now.
we'll stretch
But
the show.
if it's after 8 o'clock on, what is it, 17th?
Don't come.
18th? Don't come.
Don't come. Or come if you'd
I don't
like,
know
but
what
we
to
won't
say.
be
You better
here.
check your local listings on this one, folks.
That's right.
There you go. There you go. Well, I'd like to thank both you gentlemen for...
Thank you, John. Come see
John.
Gary. Come see Gary Puckett tomorrow night too, if this airs tonight.
Well, it's time to go. Good night, sweetheart.
We had
Hey,
to leave you.
we'll see y'all later, all right? Grease for peace.
Think about it.
Thank you.
John needs some grease in his hair, I think.
Oh, and I love this part. This is the sing-along. All right, everybody, big guys, all the party dog, you know that. Ready? Let's rock!
When the record stops spinning, you choke. So when you're chicken at the hop, 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 hop. You do the dance sensation and sleep in the nation at the hop, 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 hop. Let's go to the hop. Let's go to the hop. Oh, baby. Let's go to the hop. Oh, baby. Let's go to the hop. Come on. Let's go to the hop. Let's go.
Whoa.
Hi, Gary.
Hello, John. How you doing?
Pretty good,
Great.
pretty good. My name's John Rhodes. I'm down here from Heritage Cablevision, down here at Great River Days on Friday.
The Big Muddy.
The big muddy Mississippi River. Yeah, there we go. There we go. And I'm here with Gary Puckett, which is he's about ready to perform here in what, about a half hour or so?
Something like that.
Yeah, something
Soon.
like that. Soon. Yeah, we're kind of cutting it short today because they had some problems with the electrical equipment and stuff. But Gary was good enough to give me a short interview here. So
Do what you got to do, man.
yeah, okay. So how long have you been recording songs?
Recording songs.
Recording songs.
Oh, gosh. Well, gee, it goes back a while, I think. Woman was recorded 20 years ago, the 17th of this month. So we had a 20-year anniversary for Gary Puckett and Union Gap last week.
Great.
Yeah.
No, was that the first song you recorded?
Well, no, I had recorded before that, but that was the first one that was released on a major label and, was promoted properly, and obviously our first success.
Yeah. Okay, how many songs have you recorded?
Oh, I could never tell you. I have no idea. We did,
thousands, huh?
No, not thousands, but we did 8 or 9 albums.
Great. How often do you travel?
Right now we're just traveling really on the weekends. It's kind of tough to be out there all the time. I kind of miss being home, and the road is kind of a rough way to go, especially with the airlines the way they are. And I don't know.
Right. Yeah, we found out tonight with the equipment, right?
Yeah, we almost lost the gear today, so fortunately we got it.
Right. Now you toured with the Monkees last year, right?
Sure did.
Right. Now, how did you like that?
We had a great time. We did about 200 shows in 6.5 months.
6.5 months.
Yeah.
Now they're still touring, aren't they?
Well, they're out again this summer, yeah. And I haven't seen the show yet, but I understand it's doing pretty well.
Great. Now, you got away from the music for a while, didn't you?
I did back in the 70s. I kind of wanted to take a little, the word is always hiatus, I wanted to step back. And so I was away for about 2 years, but what happened was I found that after 2 years, the 60s had really changed and really become the 70s, which was a whole new kind of generation thing. And somehow I didn't fit in the scene anymore. So I found myself sort of gone from the scene for about 8 going on 9 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, how are things going now? How have things changed or gotten better, or what happened?
Well, how have things changed? It's changed for the better, actually. I mean, good music is starting to be accepted once again. And, I think it's time for singers once again.
Right.
There's a new interest in all the 60s, of course. That's been going on, for the last few years. And the baby boom crowd is one that I think was kind of hungry for some good music for a long time. So they started getting interested in the music that they, kind of grew up with. And it's given artists like myself an opportunity to, come back and do well once again.
Great. So now you're singing a lot of your old songs then,
Oh,
right?
sure. We do all the old stuff in Union Gap. And we're doing some of the new things from the new album.
Great. Now you say you got a new album out, right? What?
Well, it's not out. We're working on it right now.
Okay, is there any certain songs people should look for? Or?
Well, just look for the album,
What's it going to be called?
Well, we intend for it to be called I'm a Survivor.
I'm a Survivor.
But I'm not really sure at this point. You never know until the last minute when it's done and it's on, the blueprint. That's, yeah.
Okay, it looks like we got a pretty good crowd out here
Starting to
tonight.
come in now.
Right, yeah. But like I said, we're cutting it short kind of tonight because Gary's got a few other things to do.
I just got to get ready to do the show.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to ad-lib to or anything? I mean,
leave it wide open, John.
Yeah, right. I ran out of questions.
Thanks for inviting me on the show.
You bet. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
You bet. Okay. Thank you very much.
Sure, you bet.